Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Winback, and on today's episode we are going to be playing the Fire Mage, the Kael, the robot man himself. And we're going to talk about the single change that he got with the most recent patch. It's pretty late game focused, so we'll get into that, but it does kind of open up a new build path for him, so we're going to do that instead and see how things go. This is a YouTube video though, so feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. We do 4 of these bad boys per week. This will be number 3 with 1 more to follow to cap us off tomorrow. The team comps are going to be Malthael, Whitemane, Asmo, Kael, and ETC versus Varian, Valera, Li-Ming, Deckard, and Kira on Alterac Pass. So, if you're not familiar with Deckard, why would you be familiar with Deckard? We did that video a long time ago. Kael is who we're talking about today. Kael's Q ability is called Flame Strike. This has a 70 mana cost, by the way. And considering that everyone starts with 500 mana, that's pretty insane. Flame Strike is going to put a huge circle on the ground that's going to blow up and deal a huge chunk of damage after 1 second. It's good. It's got some decent range. It's very good burst damage. The only problem is hitting it and making sure you're following up on CC with it. Our W, called Living Bomb, the most easy point-and-click ability in Kael's entire kit. What this is going to do is deal a small chunk of damage when you place it on a person, and then over 3 seconds, it's going to do a little bit more damage while that's going. No, sorry, that's backwards. You're going to put the Living Bomb on them. They're going to take the damage over time, and then when the bomb explodes, it is going to do that little chunk of damage and also spread out in a radius around the affected target. So, right. So, sorry. Once the Living Bomb spreads, if it spreads off to other heroes, they are also going to be inflicted with Living Bomb, but they themselves cannot spread the Living Bomb again. So it can only travel to one other character and then blow up on them, unless you take the talents to make it go forever, but it's kind of rough to make that happen in games where people actually pay attention to, not getting hit by that ability. Our E, Gravity Lapse, is a 90 mana cost stun. It's a little tornado that Kael is just going to whip out in a straight line, and it's going to knock people up. Wow, okay. Looks like ETC just really letting our healer die. Yeah, but it's a 1 second stun, and it is pretty good stuff when you are getting jumped on or when you need to follow up CC or any manner of situations that are going to arise when you're playing one of the most easily diveable characters in the game. Now, our trait is called Verdant Spheres. Verdant Spheres is going to be the focus of the build, but what happens when you hit your D button with this character, ETC, my god, man, you can see me just tanking their tank while you're standing there. For the love of God. What was I saying? Right, Verdant Spheres. So, this is going to, when we hit our D button, is going to empower our normal abilities. And you might have seen it when we were hovering over the talents, but each of them gets a different empowered aspect. So, Flame Strike is going to increase the radius by 50%, does not increase the damage at all. Just saying. Your W is now a free cost, has no mana and no cooldown when you target it on someone. And your E is going to stun the first 3 enemies hit and increase the stun duration by 50%. So it's going to stun people for 1.5 seconds, and it's going to hit multiple people. Just really, really, really ridiculously powerfully strong. So if you are empowering abilities, typically you want it to be your W or your E, because your W is free and your E gets the most CC for what it is. It's probably the most opportunity that you can make for your team with that thing. It's kind of like a mini mosh pit, if we're being perfectly honest. So, Kael's single change with this go-round of the patch, which we can take a look at right now, is giving him the Verdant Spheres 16 talent. Is actually going to let him access all of his level 7 talents. So once we start talking about the build, You'll see why that's so ridiculous, but that 16 talent specifically is going to give you a second charge of your trait, your Verdant Spheres, so you're going to have multiple empowered abilities and access to all the level 7 talents in the late game, which is ridiculously important. So let's hop back into the game here, and we can talk about the build, because the ult choice, I'm sure you're all aware, there's a good one, and then there's Pyroblast, which is the fun one. And to be honest, it's so popular as an ability that it kind of overshadows Phoenix, which is the better of the two. Not only does Phoenix do a lot of damage, it denies a lot of area and stuff, but Pyroblast just does such a ridiculous amount of damage, and you go full Super Saiyan when you're throwing it. It's so hard not to pick. It's ridiculous. And considering this is a quick match, I am just going to take Pyroblast and blast people the best I can. Picking targets, though, with Pyroblast is very important, because if you cast it on a person like Valera, well, she has her unstoppable ultimate up. She's just going to eat your entire Pyroblast and laugh in your face. So that'll be important once we get to that stage of the game. But as you can see, our whole build is trait. So we've taken Fel Infusion at level 4, or sorry, at level 1. It's going to give us 4% spell power, and it's going to heal us for 129 every time that we activate the D, which is pretty often. So getting any amount of healing back on Kael'thas is really good, and honestly, it may kind of lend it to a bit of an off-lane build for him. If you have to have a character to soak lanes, Kael'thas is definitely really good at it. So keep that in the back of your mind. Not sure why my Q was the empowered cast there. I want to say I was going for the empowered empowered E, but who knows? Who knows? Sometimes I think with Kael'thas, if you're playing this character, you want to have your W on quick cast, and you want to have your Q and your E on release, because having the indicators for those two abilities are really important. But I'm running into a lot of issue with Living Bomb where it isn't casting right away, even though I'm clicking on people, and it's really fucking frustrating. So maybe that's a me thing, maybe that's a... Oh, okay, why are you over here? Excuse me, sir. There are 3 people. Just because you have a large health bar does not mean this is going to... There's now 4 people, but you got some backup at the worst time possible, really. I mean, if your whole team wasn't there to begin with, why are you hanging around our slow pit and Merc camp? You absolutely... Oh, is this the trade kill? Is Malthael going to die? It looks like I'm going to get jumped on by the Valera, and the Malthael is going to live because our white main knows exactly how to put healing down on those bad boys. I'm going to get silenced in the middle of my Pyroblast because that Valera is insane and saving her teammates. She's still going to die, so trading, Valera for healer, I guess. Could have been worse. Could have been better. So our level 4 talent's called Mana Tap. Activating Verdant Spheres is going to give us 4% of our maximum mana back. Seeing as how our maximum mana isn't exactly large without our level 1 Mana Addict talent, it's not the greatest thing in the world. Typically, I think, even if you're building this, I'm just kind of goofing around with the full trait build at this point, but I think you can still take Mana Addict and Verdant Spheres. Even though you're giving up that 4% spell power when you're hitting the D button, I think getting 4% of a maximum ridiculous amount of mana from Mana Addict is really good. So that's probably a change I would make, but again, this is just kind of quick match, figuring stuff out, seeing if the build's any good to begin with, and here we are. Not to mention, if you have 4% spell power on the front end of a Pyroblast going into a Deckard Cain's face, it's probably going to hurt a little bit. Not super sure if everything went according to plan there for our ETC. He just really wants to go in and out. And Malthael's going to take my target with the Pyroblast on it instead of finding someone else to get a Living Bomb with. That's a 3-man stun, though. We're going to lock those people directly down into the pits of their doom. Varian looks to be on the way out as well. That's a double kill for yours truly. And we can get a 3-ass objective here. Hopefully, I'm going to go do the camp. But,
Killing spree.
yeah, we should be doing these. Okay, maybe not. Maybe Li Ming is just going to stand there with orbs and be a complete and utter nuisance. Yeah, someone's going to have to go over there and stop her. And looks like we're going to lose. ETC not getting the message yet. I'm taking an extremely long time to do this camp. That did not go the way that I was thinking it would. So, kudos to Yu Ming for being really fucking annoying. Now, our 7 talent's called Sunfire Enchantment. Acting Verdant Spheres causes Kael'thas's next 2 basic attacks to instead deal 192 spell damage, which is pretty good. I don't know what that was. And then if both of these attacks hit enemy heroes, we're going to get 15% spell power for 10 seconds. So 15% plus the 4% that we get just from activating RT, 19% there, and then you can charge that up into your Pyroblast or a big Flame Strike and just smoke people. Just ridiculous amounts of damage from all of that spell power. But that's about it. That's really all that it does. It does kind of help you to proc your wave clear. Oh, I am dead. Ultra dead. Nothing I can do. Really no way. I should have started walking down immediately, but my dumbass tried to walk into the tornado, and I died for it. Cool. Well, fine, I guess. Yeah, that mosh pit did keep Malthael alive. Even though he looks pretty dead there, we did trade 2 for 2, so all things considered. No channel on the objective from either team. Yeah. We take those. Oh, is it a 2? It is a 2 for 3 now. Way to go, team. Pushing forward, not even bothering with the objective, showing the enemy team our whole ass, making them know that you can't just walk towards us with our healer and our Asmo alive. Now, our level 13 talent, we've taken Pyromaniac. Each time Living Bomb deals periodic damage, Kael'thas's basic ability cooldowns are reduced by 0.5 seconds. And you'll remember that we get 1 free no mana, no cooldown W every time that we hit our D, so we can essentially get 1 full second cooldown because he's dead as fuck. 1 full second cooldown on our basic abilities per tick because we will have 2 living bombs on people basically at any given moment. So, all that being said, the ability ticks for, let's see, 3 seconds. Oh, she is. Goodbye. She got pretty close. She got pretty close. Anyway, sorry. I have to watch the Pyroblast kills. You have to. It's hilarious. Even though we 3 of us died in exchange for 2 of them. My apologies, I wasn't paying attention to the important part of the video, but here we are. Where were we? We were talking about talents. Pyromaniac, yeah. So, actually, it doesn't say how many times it ticks, does it?
Choose a talent.
It does not. I'm trying to figure out, looking at the nulls right now. Yeah, it looks like it's just once per second. So, what was it? So it's over 3 seconds, once per second, and that is going to give us 0.5 second cooldown every time that it ticks on all of our basic abilities, which include Living Bomb. So, it's 3 seconds off everything. I mean, his cooldowns aren't very significant to begin with. 7 seconds, 10 seconds. Ooh, got him! Kira and Varian dead to the rest of the world. 14 seconds. Yeah, that's not bad. Considering how often you can use these abilities, especially with your Verdant Spheres active, that's probably a really good amount of cooldown reduction coming from Pyromaniac. The other ones at this tier, Living Bombs, Explosion, slows... The explosion itself slowing enemies isn't great. But it is a possibility if you need to have some sort of slow, I guess. And then the increased Living Bomb radius is probably something that you only want to build when you're building... oh my god, when you're building full Living Bomb. My healer is amazing! Keeping my stupid ass alive because I was walking directly onto the wrong side of the map. Oh, she's dead, isn't she?
Double kill.
I missed it, but she did die. I'm over here doing the objective because that's what we do. I need to kill minions so they don't de-channel it, and my team has finally decided to come over to assist. So I can walk over here and do some more damage for my mouth heal and my healer. Do we get these kills? We are going to blast that Valera back into the nether. And then watch as the objective barrels down all 3 lanes so we can get some shit going. Now, our 16 talent, the upgraded one, we talked about it. Verdant Spears gains a second charge. Kael'thas benefits from all of his level 7 talents. So basically, your 16 with this talent becomes all of these talents. So burned flesh, when Flame Strike damages 2 or more heroes, they're going to take damage equal to 8% of their maximum health. Insanity, Sun King's Fury, Living Bombs that spread to enemy heroes deal 35% more damage. Obviously, that's not nothing. And then Sunfire Enchantment we already talked about, but mainly it's the Burned Flesh. That's going to be your big one, dealing 8% max health damage when you're hitting multiple people with your Flame Strike is fucking insane. And not only that, but we have a team comp, or we have a tank who's very good at putting people together, so we can just line the damage up on them. All this peel for our white main. Valera just does not have any idea what to do, and she's just getting blown apart. Oh, it's still going in there, huh? You just made the decision to come back around, even though probably not a good idea. That Pyroblast was more to force Deckard to walk away than it was to kill him, so not sure if that was entirely necessary, but I'll take it. I can appreciate the enthusiasm. At level 20, though, we did pick up the Presence of Mind, increased Pyroblast explosion radius by 50%, and then heroes that are hit by Flame Strike or have Living Bomb spread to them are reducing the cooldown of Pyroblast by 10 seconds. Considering that Pyroblast is on a pretty decent cooldown of 100 seconds, hitting your Q or hitting people with your W, it's going to be pretty effective at reducing that cooldown. You're getting literally 10% off the cooldown anytime that you hit those conditions, so that's really good. Not only that, but, you know, flinging more Pyroblasts at people who deserve them, like, you know, Li Ming or Deckard or Kira. They have to run scared because they never know when the pyro's coming back for them. Oh my god, you're still coming in, but I guess that's fine because you unstoppable right through my tornado while we unstoppable right back in your face and take out your Kira, which you baited into going in and then didn't help at all. Valera is on our white main yet again, trying to do damage, but just not able to kill that character. And now we watch. We watch as the game falls apart for the enemy team yet again. Last Rites taking out Ming. Now the enemy team only has 3 people left to try to defend the objective, or their final keep, or their lives at this particular moment. So, the build with Kael'thas is pretty simple. I mean, if you see anything that looks like your trait, you're just going to click on that, and then you're going to take Pyromaniac. And then you're going to pick the ult that you want to, but both of them are perfectly accessible, I think. So, at 20, what else do we have? You could also be taking Flamethrower at 20. I think Flamethrower is probably the better choice at 20. But since we picked Pyroblast, you know, in for penny, in for pound. But Flamethrower, oh my god, you were just full inting. Just sick of playing this game, huh? Just, you poor baby. Flamethrower is going to increase the cast range of Flame Strike by 40%, and if it hits 2 or more heroes, its cooldown is going to be reduced by 4 seconds. So dropping it to a 3-second cooldown, not to mention all the cooldown reduction that you're getting with Pyromaniac, you can see just how many Qs will be launched into the bad guys. So probably the best talent at the tier, if we're being honest. But anyway, that's the build for Kael in a nutshell. I can't believe I finished a build talking about a build before the game is actually over for once. So I'm out of things to talk about except for the game itself, because actually it's probably coming to an end with this. The enemy team doesn't have any keeps up, so there's no armor for the core. Varian not getting any follow-up on that taunt against me. And now we're just looking to run it down. Just full-on run it down. Gonna give Li Ming a Pyroblast for her troubles. The shield saved her from dying, which is really hilarious, but at the same time, I know she felt that so deep in her soul that she won't be messing with me anymore. Whew. We're on 50 seconds for our Pyroblast cooldown right now. See if we can get some more cooldown going with our empowered auto attacks. Hit Deckard with that one. We're now down to 23 seconds. Fucking cool. I really like that 20 upgrade. It might not be great, but it's definitely fun. Especially in quick range. Nuts. There you have it. The minions, the objective, all the kills, everything just coming to fruition at the end there, while we steal the MVP with an 8-1 record for the game. Yes, I will take your votes. Please provide them to me. The build one more time in case you need it. We have got Felon Fusion at 1, Mana Tap at 4, Sunfire Enchantment at 7, Pyroblast at 10, Pyromaniac at 13, Twin Spears at 16, and then Presence of Mind at 20. Also, feel free to take Mana Addict at 1 and Flamethrower at 20. Those are still probably the best options at those tiers, but there you have it. That is going to do it for me. We can cut this one short before the 30-minute mark. Oh my god. Progress, truly. Thanks so much for hanging out. I will see you guys next time. GG's. Peace out.